Hank the Tank says, 15 minutes of shame is absolutely obsessed with me. And the guy responds, yeah, saw that. And then he says, LMAO, MF needs to be, and I'm just gonna use the word deleted. I've received several death threats myself from Johnny, from Hank. Hank will not face criminal charges for this in Korea.
Guys, we've got a big update on Hanky Poo. Yes, you heard it right. Hanky Poo, the biggest nuisance streamer right now. He has officially crossed all limits when it comes to being a menace. He has now surpassed Johnny Somali, Vitaly, or honestly any other streamer in the world. Because here's the thing, none of them have actually threatened to someone, but Hank just did. He literally threatened to one of his critics, someone who exposed their disgusting behavior internationally, and this proves a much deeper issue.
Normal people certainly don't make the types of threats that Johnny Somali and Hank make. Now, I'm no stranger to these threats. I've received several death threats myself from Johnny, from Hank.
If people like Hank and Johnny aren't held accountable, society itself is at risk. No one has the right to harass a country's culture or people. So when creators like 15 Minutes of Shame expose them, that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing. It's necessary. Why? Because these types of streamers often influence other desperate or naive people to copy their behavior just to make quick money, and when someone like 15 Minutes of Shame calls them out publicly, they get scared. That's why we've seen long periods where Hank and Johnny weren't uploading or streaming anything. They were quiet. They were exposed. And now they're mad. They're planning behind closed doors, talking about 15 Minutes of Shame. Yes, actually talking about murder.
But you can see in that last line, it's a clear threat towards this creator. This is something that's absolutely something that normal people don't say.
This isn't just a threat to one person, it's a threat to anyone who stands up against them. These guys are messed up beyond belief, and it's only a matter of time before they do something truly dangerous. They must be held accountable immediately. Even Legal Mindset broke it all down and explained why both Hank and Johnny Somali need to be stopped now, before it's too late.
Hank Yoo, Johnny Somali, aka Ramzi Khalid Ismail's top ally, has made an insane threat against a channel covering Johnny Somali and Hank, and this is really wild. And frankly, it shows just how deranged Hank and Johnny are. Of course, normal people certainly don't make the types of threats that Johnny Somali and Hank make. Now, I'm no stranger to these threats. I've received several death threats myself from Johnny, from Hank, from their allies, and they haven't been just been aimed at me. They've been aimed at my friends, my family, my mother, my business partners, and they've even contacted people I work with, people I know, and tried to get me in trouble, tried to say lies to them, spread defamation. It shows that it's not just me, other people are also catching flack. So this creator is 15 Minutes of Shame, and they've done some coverage on Johnny Somali. They of course cover other topics and other people, but Johnny and Hank are particularly unhinged, and they tend to lash out. This individual, Adrius, is talking to Hank, and his logo there, his nickname, sends over a video of 15 Minutes of Shame and says, why is this guy keep pulling this up in his video? So he's talking about a video where Hank is mentioned. Hank the Tank says, 15 Minutes of Shame is absolutely obsessed with me. And the guy responds, yeah, saw that. And then he says, LMAO, MF needs to be, and I'm just going to use the word deleted because I want to keep it YouTube friendly. But you can see in that last line, it's a clear threat towards this creator. This is something that's absolutely something that normal people don't say. Normal, regular people don't say things like that. Of course, as we know, Hank is not a normal, regular person. This is a person with a criminal record. He was caught breaking and entering and attempted robbery when he was younger. He was convicted of several firearm-related felonies and ejected from the United States. He lost any possibility to ever be a permanent resident of the United States.
Absolutely, Hank Yoo is a criminal. He should not be given any chance to live in America. He is a disrespectful man who has literally cursed and said very dangerous things about many cultures and nations. Especially, he used extremely offensive and disrespectful language against black people across cultures all over the world. Don't panic, I'm giving you proof. Here's a video that's going viral again. This is an expose showing exactly how a man like this can be a criminal. Just watch this clip first, then I'll explain everything.
Oh, yo, Black Lives Matter. Academy skills get triggered as shit. Shout out to Ross again, bitch. Long live America, long live Pixie. Black Lives Matter. They can't do a proper shit. They can't even throw a proper punch. They can't even aim. They can't even aim. They always thought it. They actually think they can beat head-on combat. One of the white belt. If y'all ever go full, one of the white belt. Those don't stand a chance. Get triggered. South Korea again. Woo! I'm proud of hell to be in America because Africa is a shit. Europe is a shit. East Asia is a shit. South Asia is a shit. Middle East is a shit. The world. Long live America. Yeah! Woo!
So, can anyone give me an answer why South Korea or any country should give him shelter? He is a lord of criminals. You just heard what he said. I told you, if he was in front of me, I don't even know what I would do. What about you? What would you do if he was in front of you? I think if this clip reaches the South Korean authorities because of his disgusting talk, he should be banned everywhere. He disrespected so many people and cultures. In fact, he disrespected the whole world. So, honestly, I think the whole world should ban him. Share this clip with everyone so everyone can see this coward saying disgusting things about them and their cultures. That's exactly why America banned him. And now, when he deserves to be punished, South Korea says they won't punish him. Yes, that's not just my opinion. Listen carefully to what Legal Mindset said.
Because of those felony charges, he lost all of his appeals, which he appealed all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States, which denied him. So he's been fully denied out of the U.S., cannot go to the U.S. at all because he is a criminal. And that's something that is just straight up factual. I've showed the data, it's all there on Hank. And of course, this is the type of person that houses and shelters Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, for the past year as he committed crimes and continues to commit crimes, including new crimes, which he's been reported to police on, including one specific crime for which I believe Hank was very mad. And Hank brought this up because he's very mad that he is involved with Johnny Somali in one of the particular instances, which we have seen he is reported for child under the Korean Child Welfare Act. And that's very serious. And I think Hank, he knows that he's under pressure, he's under scrutiny, he's being investigated by police. And because of that, Hank is freaking out. Hank is losing it right now. And that's why he felt the need to threaten people. Now, I'm going to give you the real news in conversation with South Korean lawyers and in conversation with people who know the law in South Korea. The reality of the matter is Hank will not face criminal charges for this in Korea. Now, I know others have brought up that potentially, if this was all in Korea and all the parties were in Korea, this could be some sort of intimidation or threat or attempt. Who knows? But Korea does not like to prosecute, and many countries, not just Korea, many countries do not like to prosecute international threats like this, threats that are across national borders, particularly countries that are far away like Korea and the United States. And law enforcement looking at that is going to say, yeah, it's bad, but it's not something we're going to independently take action on. Now, if other charges are brought against Hank, that is something that could be used against him to show his character and his general demeanor and how he's unhinged.
So you just heard it. After committing serious crimes, Hank is still safe. And according to the latest update, he's facing 0 consequences. So let me ask you, what does that say? Should we all just become like Hank? Because apparently, if you act like him, harassing people, disrespecting cultures, and even threatening others, nothing happens to you. Is that the kind of message we want to send to the world? That being a criminal brings no punishment? Is that inspiration or insanity? I really want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget what they said about a creator. Threats so clear and dangerous, you have to imagine, what if they actually do it? Because let's be honest, we've seen them do exactly what they say before, so why should we assume this time is any different? They should absolutely be punished for this. So what do you think? Should South Korea take action against them? Should they be held accountable before it's too late? Let me know.